church started in September 2004. I joined in December 2004, so the church was about 3 months old when I relocated from Nigeria to Nottingham, and I joined the church. We had a pastor then. His name was Pastor Joel. We were sent from Leicester to pastor the church, so when I came in, I just joined them with the other members I met on ground until 1st of October 2005, when I officially now took over as the pastor because he had to relocate back to Leicester to start another parish. So I was asked to step in and take over. Here we are, 15 years later. So we thank God. It's been refreshing. It's been educative. It's been a learning curve, and it's helped us now to have years of experience behind us and helping us to move to the future. And so the fact that God has always been with us, that has been the mainstay.
The 15th anniversary celebration is important to us for various reasons. First of all, is a way of reminding us of the faithfulness and kindness of God, because He has seen us through from 15 years ago when we started from nowhere. I remember from Dunkirk Primary School, we used to sit on the children's chair then. Here we are now. God moved us from various places, locations, until we were able to buy this building where we are now.
When I joined the church, they were in an hotel. I can't remember what they call it now, but it was Britannia Hotel just on Memiran Way. We were there from that September till sometimes in 2005, when we finally moved to a school called Dunkirk Primary School on Leigh Street. We were there for a couple of years. We had challenges there. By and by, we coped. And then some 2 years later, I think, maybe around 2006 or 7, we moved to a Methodist church building in an area called Chilwell. We had a 6-month lease there, but by the end of the 6 months, the lease was not renewed. So we had to move down to Bells Lane Community Center. And even then, when we were still in that Bells Lane, we had to rent another office on Afreton Road because it got to a state that they were not as friendly as they were before. So we had to move our office there, be doing our weekly activities there, be doing some of our choir practices there in the office. It was then that we now began to intensify our effort about getting a place where we have been searching over the years. All through those years of moving up and down, we've been searching, but we've not been very lucky.
We need a building, and I said, Pastor, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I've only been in this church for less than a year, so it's the first time I'm hearing about this. And I said, well, now you know. So there is this man which he was an estate agent, which I was close to. So I mentioned to him, and he said to me that there is a building that will actually be perfect for your church. And that building has actually been available for about 6 months.
You know, when you have been hoping for something and you have been working towards it for a long time and you have met with a lot of disappointments, you tend to get discouraged. He said, let me go. I said, go. So he went, came with him here, saw the place, and went back.
The funny thing was, the landlord of our church office were actually the same landlord of this building. So we've been there looking for building, and we didn't know that our landlord, our current landlord, actually have a building for ourselves.
And the rest is history. And so by the grace of God, we moved in here in November 2012.
It's been wonderful. It's got its ups and downs. There's been the times of the valley. There's been the mountaintop. We've got challenges here and there from time to time. But overall, it's been a fantastic and wonderful experience because of the role we play. We have to deal with people, interact with people, and we impact each other one way or the other. We teach, and at the same time, we also learn from members of the church.
The importance of the 15th anniversary is, for us, is a way of showing gratitude to God for keeping us for the past 14 years, because we have been through ups and downs, and yet the church kept growing stronger. So for that, we are rolling out the drums to say, God, we thank you. The church has been moving forward, and the church has been growing spiritually, numerically, physically, financially, in every other way.
It's been amazing. Joining the church, I will say, has been one of the most positive experiences of my life. I joined this church immediately I moved to the UK. That was in 2005. And I've seen the church move from that small beginning to what it is today by the grace of God.
It's been wonderful. I've been with the church for about 12 years now, and I can say that I really have a fulfilling time in the church. I can remember when we started and where we are now. I can say the Lord has been faithful. The church has really grown, not only in size, but also even in our duties as well. The church is more matured now, and I could just say that to God be the glory.
I've been involved since I was 10. I remember my 10th birthday cake that I didn't want to share with anyone. But yeah, it's been a long time, but it's been an amazing journey to where we are now. And like, I'm a full-blown adult working, so I've seen a lot of changes in the church, and it's been great to be a part of it.
I'm exactly the same, to be honest. I think I was just younger than you, though, when I first came. So I came when everybody else was here, the teenagers at the time, and I've just grown with them since, and here I am, full-blown adult.
And we always come back to the church. Like, I went to uni, she went to uni, and I guess in our minds we thought we're always going to stay away from home, but we always come back, and that goes for literally kind of the younger people that grew up in the church as well.
When I started uni, I thought I would finish uni and then just relocate somewhere else entirely, but you always find yourself coming back to church, especially when you come back in the summer anyway. You're just like, oh, I miss church.
Yeah.
And then you just come back.
When you get to a point in your faith that it's no longer okay, I think maybe when we were younger we didn't understand so much why we do it, but now we understand, so I think we value more our growth so far. And when I stand there, I'm really like, oh my God, God, I get to do this for you.
And you're not really singing for yourself anymore.
It's like so other people can be blessed.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. Well, I feel amazing when I do it.
Definitely.
Yeah. She led a song with someone else, and it was like they were shaking.
The very first song.
And it was like, we were so nervous, but it was like an amazing experience to where we are now. I was 14, you're younger.
Yeah. Chris Tomlin, Impossible.
No, it's Karen,
Impossible.
Impossible, untamable. You raise the stars in the sky and you know them by name. Yeah, you are amazing. It was a good song.
Yeah, it was a good song.
When you help and when you're doing things for God, you're also learning, you're taking stuff in. Even though I feel I'm able to contribute to the development of the church, at the same time, it's helping myself also in various ways. I'm the youth minister of the church, which means supporting the youth and helping them in various ways.
We have a teenager classroom and we do like Bible study and stuff like that, and we have debates as well to see everyone's opinion, because you know everyone's opinion is different, and I learn a lot from there as well. I enjoy like the spiritual connection with everyone, like especially in praise and worship when we're all singing and praising God. I feel like everyone is like united, everyone's one, so I like that, yeah.
I've been here with the church since like I was a baby, pretty much. I've grown up with it. I can remember like, I think 2010, we were in Dunkirk, like an area in Dunkirk, and that's where we originally did church. And then we moved to, I think, Bells Lane in like Aspley, and then now we're here, I think like 2012 or 2013. So I've kind of seen like people go, people come, and that's what I mean, it contributes to like this whole sense of community, because like I've known this place for a very long time. Granted, if you come here, you'll probably be here for a very long time in like terms of like years, and therefore you can develop relationships with other people.
We have to make sure that we meet the needs of the children so that they too they can benefit from the service. So that's what brings up the creation of the children department, because if they are to be with us in the same hall, they might not have the idea of what we are. They may not have the knowledge of what we are talking. They have to start from there. If I could remember, the children's department started, I think, as far back as when the church started as well. That's as far back as 15 years ago. Though then the children were not many, maybe about 5 or 10 children. When you come to church on Sunday, firstly we do praise and worship, we do Bible study, we teach them how to pray. The department is like a church on its own, because we have to make them to do what the adults as well, what they do in the church, the order of service. We are preparing the teenagers to be the adults in the church, so their own Bible study and other activities are more intense. The younger group, we play videos for them, games, then we teach them the Word of God as well. And sometimes, if it's summertime, we take them to the park.
I enjoy praise and worship and performing things for my parents.
It's welcoming and you get to have an understanding of who Christ is. And I've gained a lot of knowledge and understanding as well.
The positive role is that I get to experience visitors in church when we are called to stay in church for the service, and they say some words that can stay in your brain, and it helps you in your everyday life. So it's really good to experience that.
I've become more spiritual and I have faith as compared to before now. It's just positive vibes now, yeah.
It's amazing that some of the children that there were kids there, many of them today are university graduates. And to see the progress in the life of the members. Because for me as an individual, I'm always excited when I see people make progress in life, when you can see moving from one level to the other. And I've seen how that happen over and over.
I joined CRA in 2007. We used to meet in Dunkirk Primary School. And what I remember from that time is that we used to sit on these really little chairs. I left church in 2012 when I graduated from the University of Nottingham. And what I really remember and what I really miss is how everybody was so nice and how Pastor and his family kind of embraced me and made me feel welcome. It became like a small family to me. I have kept in touch with some people from church, and I'm really grateful to have all of them in my life. I'm grateful that they came to my wedding and came to support me.
From my part, I'll say the experience has been great, wonderful. It has shown the awesomeness of God. It's shown us that little things, like seeds, like acorns, can grow and become like an oak tree. So I think you can recollect.
The Bible says we should not despise the time of little beginnings.
Yeah.
We started maybe 5 members. But to the glory of God, God has been so wonderful to us, and as a family, we have been able to benefit from the church.
Spiritually, the church has been able to meet our spiritual needs, our also emotional needs. The church has been able to show us what it takes, to cope with the hustle and the bustle of life. So it brought that balance, into our lives.
I've been a member here for about 10 years now. When I started this church, I only had 1 child. I've got 4 now. So it's also been a place where I've been blessed with children as well. So it is a great place, yeah.
I still remember, it is green in my memory, that when we came to this country 10 years back, we were led by God to come to this beautiful church. And I was so pleased to see the care and the warmth that was bestowed to be by a mummy pastor and Pastor Ibikunle. And although 10 years have passed by, that love he has for the flock has never decreased. They still call, they still check. So I'm really, really happy to see how the church has grown so big.
I've been a member for 7 years, from 2012. I joined this church and I've settled very well. It's like my church, I'm originally from Zambia, but I've really settled down in a Nigerian setting whereby I feel so free, and because I am here for Jesus Christ, and that's the one I look to.
I've been able to join the different departments in the church. I am involved in the food bank and the teachers department. So I feel very much welcome and loved in this church. My dad actually used to call me Nana. And then my husband got to know that my dad called me Nana. And when I came here, he introduced me as Nana, not as my real name. So it kind of stuck for like 9 years now. So everybody knows me by Nana. Somebody actually asked me today, what's my name, and I said Jorina, so they were all shocked. So it's kind of today that I'm revealing that I have another name to everybody.
It's a church that they love each other, and I cannot quantify it than what I've just said, that it's a very good church, it's a family church. If we don't see one member or the other, we pay them a visit, we give them a phone call, we call them. During the fellowship time, we know more of each other, then we know what is going on within most of the families. Then we pray about that, then we share things in common.
We've had a lot of good things. We have had 2 children in one day, born on the same day. So we did 2 naming ceremonies on a day. I had to visit hospital, running from one ward to the other when the mothers were trying to have babies. So for me, that was one of the highlights of the ministry. We have had those who had been, barren for a long time, and then God answered their prayers and they had children. We have a department called the Social Action Group Department and the Community Group Department. So we have a food bank, for example. Through the food bank, we meet the needs of our local community. Various government organizations send people to us every Saturday, and we feed them. We also work together with Hope Nottingham, in conjunction with Hope Nottingham, to do that.
The church has been engaging in community service by supporting the people who are homeless in our community, around the church, around this area, and also in the city center, by providing them with food and hot drinks and other basic things, that they need on a daily basis, and also to show them the love of God. And because sometimes people like that might not be able to come to the church, but as a church, we make it our duty to go out there and show them the love of God.
One of the objectives of the church is the alleviation of poverty and to our community. And our community, the church members are one of the community. So when members struggle, we do try to help them. It could be financial assistance. It could be sometimes we provide food items. We give them groceries and things like that. They are also able to get some items from the food bank as well. Sometimes we have people that donate items of clothing.
I do believe that as a church, even though thank God for what we're doing at the moment, but I believe we can do much more. And we can reach out to more homeless people in the community. We can reach out to more people that needs the help of the church.
It's a big impact because we've heard testimonies of people who has nobody, and we reaching out to them is giving them another opportunity to live again, like belonging in having to belong in a community, having a family which they never had, and the opportunity to meet with other people that they didn't know they could meet with, and the greatest opportunity is bringing them into church and bringing them into Christ.
There's really a strong sense of community around the church, and like World Debate's one thing that is God, so it kind of just like unites people together, and that's why I like going to church.
Today is my wedding anniversary. It was announced in the church, and a lot of members have been to me just to congratulate myself and my wife. This church has just been a blessing to most of us as a member, and we do things in common. Then we recognize each other.
It's about that family community feeling that the church gives you. The church is always involved in things that happens to you. The church is there in our low moments, is also there in our high moments. So when we have things to celebrate, they're there to support us. When we also have things to cry about, they're also there to hold our hands, to be a shoulder to cry on. So it's that family feeling where you feel like you're not alone, but you have people standing with you.
I can recommend the church to anyone 100% because I want people to also taste, to experience what I have experienced in this church. I know God is sweet. I've tasted him, I've seen him, I'm a living testimony, and then I would definitely recommend this church to anyone.
The vision of the church to plant goals is a worldwide vision for the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And from day one, since this parish was started, we have always keyed into that vision of planting churches. We've planted a few churches on our own, and recently we just planted one here in the city of Nottingham in Bolwell area. So we try as much as possible to key into that vision of church planting, because we know that that is where the kingdom growth will start.
The vision of the church for the next 5 years is that we want to be more impactful in the city. So to that extent, we have been having relationship with some of our councillors in the city and the councillors, and we work together with them now. We're also planning in future to start what we call an after-school club for parents who may want to drop off their children. Another thing we are looking at doing is we are looking at starting an IT class for young ones who have just finished school and may be looking for a job. Hopefully, we are also thinking of starting a school in future and register it with Ofsted. But those are part of the long-term plans. But the medium-term plan now is to see how we can start the after-school club and then from there take it to a school. The only thing I can say to anybody watching is that if you want the best in life, just accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. When Jesus is your Lord and Savior and the one directing your life, then you can be sure you will succeed in life. He will see you through every situation, and because we'll be within a body of believers, there will always be that support system from the church and from members and from families and from friends. So I would encourage everybody who has not accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior. That is the first step. Because when you don't have Jesus, then one is living a life of crisis. But when you have Jesus, peace will come, joy will come, and then revelation will come about how to live a godly life. And that is part of our mission, to bring as many from darkness into the marvelous light of God. Because this country is a country that is known for spreading the gospel to the other parts of the world. So we are praying for that revival whereby everybody will come back and say, yes, I know that Jesus is Lord. Praise the Lord.